morning all. We are back to the React Nextjs class, and today we want to discuss on the server-side actions. The first thing we want to look into is the Mongodb Atlas connection. I don't want us to waste much time. Let's quickly move to Mongodb. I want us to create, I already have an account with Mongodb. I think I'm going to use my existing account. So if you don't have any account with Mongodb, you please sign up with them. When you sign up, it's free. Sign up with them is free. Then after signing up, then you continue with what we are going to see or what we are going to study today. Okay, I want to confirm that I'm connected. Well, that the connection is not fast. Okay, while it is trying to load, let's quickly look into some things here. We want to create project. We want to, after creating an account, then we create project, and then we create cluster. And after creating cluster, we get a network access. That is by giving a whitelist. A whitelist means the traffic that will be allowed to connect to our cluster. Then we create the database and the schema, and then we try to connect using driver option. That's one thing with Mongodb. It is very slow, but I think before it finishes, let me quickly run our application and get okay, our application has run, and let's try to get it. So we'll be working side by side with our app and the Mongodb and all that. Mongodb is coming up, so I'm not signing up, rather I'm logging. Please, if you don't have an account, you can sign up with either your Google or your GitHub account, or you sign up using your credentials. So anytime you are loading, you need to get what we call a one-time password. I selected, or I have chosen an option to be getting it from my email address. So it has been sent to the email address. I'll get actually the connection is not all that anyway. So this is what has been sent to me from Mongodb. Then I'll go back to Mongodb site and paste it. Then it will open. This is a kind of two-way, what do we call it? Two-step. Is it two-step we call it, or what? Authentication. Huh? What is it? Is it two-step authentication or two-step verification? Whatever it is being called, that is it. And then from the side of our application, this is what we have. Even though this apart from this header, all this I'm going to remove them. I just left them because for someone to understand that it's our initial project that has been transformed to this. And I want us to work based on this enrollment. If I click on enrollment, the system will load to enrollment page, right? So let's see what's happening here. Mongodb has not yet finished. Part of what we are expected to do is all this we are going to do it in the Mongodb, but this creation of .env file, we can do that while the Mongodb is opening. You come to a project. You are going to create this from the root folder. It's a file you're going to create, and you name it .env. The reason why we are doing this is that we want to make use of Mongodb. MongoDB is going to give us something called URL. we can name it Mongo URL, for example, or whatever you think. So we don't want this URL to be exposed, because once I get your MongoDB URL, then I can connect your database and I can do all the operations. So that's why we are creating these what is it called? That's why we are creating this .env file. Okay, so it's opening. So by the time we paste the URL here, then we process it, we call it, or we invoke it somewhere, we access it somewhere, we access it somewhere in the application. So here it's telling us cluster 0. Okay, let's create project first of all. This is what we said. We don't have a project. I have an account already, but this project is not there. So I'm going to create project in MongoDB. What you do is to come up here. This MongoDB Atlas. This is the owner of the MongoDB Atlas, right? But then these are the projects. These are the projects down here. These are the projects we have. So I'm going to create another project here, and this project I will name it the name of what we are creating. Integrated Human Resources Management for Kaduna State, right? So IHR, right? IHR KDSG. Is it? Let's be specific, because there could be IHR KN for Kano. There could be IHR ZM. No. Zampara. Okay, are you from there? Yes, good. So you should create for Zampara, okay? Not just calling the name. So now let's see IHR dash KDSG. Okay, so let's say project for us to understand that it's a project. Okay, you must not necessarily write that. Then you click on next. Yeah, it's asking you if you have some. This is the project owner, as we said, the owner of this is our email address, owner of the MongoDB. You don't need to check on anything here. But if you want to add members, you click on adding you click on this tab and then you add members. For now, we are just creating projects. Maybe later we can revisit it. Then you create projects. So it's going to create this project for you in the MongoDB Atlas account. So we are here. So now next is cluster. Let's see how we create cluster. So here it tells us that what that means it has created. Can you see something here? IHR KDSG project, right? So if you click on create now, it's going to create cluster for you. Yes, but the clusters, as we have already mentioned, who is that disturbing this class? I don't like that the stack talks like that. Actually, you are not bringing in any help to us, and then you are disturbing. So these are clusters that are paid. M10 is the name of a cluster. You'll be paying 0.08 per hour of dollar, and the serverless is going to be paying 0.10 per minute, right? Per minute, per reads, per the reads of the DB. Then this is M0. M0 is free. It is used for learning as well as what? Exploring MongoDB in a cloud environment. That's why it is. So the differences are that if you go for free, you will be paying. You'll be having 512 storage of MB, and the RAM is shared that you cannot scale. Okay, and then the virtual CPU is also shared. But for serverless, it is up to 1 tera storage. All right, that is a very huge, very huge, because this is just 512 MB, not up to 1 gig, right? And this is 1 tera. You know the difference, right? Yeah. So then this is auto scaling, and this is also auto scaling. Auto scaling, do we know auto scaling? Unless if you have studied cloud things, auto scaling, that it scales automatically. Okay, you don't have to. Okay, if you have more than 1 tera storage, it doesn't mean that it will not it will accommodate, but then charges will accumulate. All right. So then you reach for the other one. We won't have much time actually. So the providers are, we have AWS provider, we have Google provider, and we have also, who is that disturbing this? I don't like this, all this. Once you seated, please, I don't want to come in and out like that. If you know you have something, you can just sit in there. AWS and Google Cloud in Asia, these are the providers. Mostly I go for AWS because of the flexibilities in the storage and all this. I think AWS are giving more than, if you check, if you want to see the difference, you click on cloud. We've seen what AWS is giving as something. You click on Google Cloud, I think it's virtually same, right? But this, look at the price here, 0.09. It has changed, right? And then for Asia, this is 0.12, right? This is more costly, right? But then the free tier is same. It's same for all. Okay, sir. Okay, please move in. The secretary is there. They should meet you there. Kujokusa meshi, kakoli student. Kujokusa to. Jana, please sit down. Have a seat. All right, so let's go for AWS. There's something here one has to be very careful. If you don't want to go by this name of cluster 0, you should quickly there and then change it to what you wanted, because you can't replace it once you created that. So then if you need any type or whatever, actually let me go for the free. Let me just create it. We don't have much time. What we wanted doing today is alright, it's creating cluster for us, and it's asking us, this is the username. The username is CloudSoft Consulting, alright, and this is the password. So let's quickly store these things. Let's quickly store these things. Let's store them somewhere. So username is this, and password. The password is of course, sir, you can change the password. You can do that in your project. I don't have time of changing password or doing something. Jimmy. Dala je ka rage fankan nan kamar da ita wa ta cikin nan. Fan din ki zama one. The project name, what is the project name? Let's say Mongodb Atlas. Project name is thank you, KDSG, sorry, IHR KDSG project. So then I want to save this in my cloud storage. So I can now see MongoDB, whatever, MongoDB, say Mongo Atlas. Details for this. Look, we don't have much time actually. This is okay for us. Very okay. So now you now see create. So it's going to create it for you. So after the creation, next is we assign the whitelist. The whitelist this is the whitelist. One of the things. So this is it. Immediately it will automatically invoke that for you. So here it says that our MongoDB has been provisioned. Okay. So here the first thing you do is to add your IP address has been embedded. It's here, IP address of your system, because you're developing local something. Then you allow also everybody, okay, depending on what we wanted to do with the cluster. This tells you that everyone can do what? Can connect. Yes. So then you add entry. If you want any description, you can see everyone can access, right? Then you add this entry. So when you add, can you see here? Everyone can access. So we have all this. Then you finish and close. So this is now congratulations. If you want to go to overview, you go to overview, so you see what you've done. So it's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. Right. Yeah, good. So now we can, we haven't created any database, right? We can go by our own database, or we can load sample database so we can retrieve. So we don't want to retrieve, and maybe next class we create our own database so we we populate. Okay. So
what of the connection string?
Yes, we get the connection string. Don't worry. If you want to get the connection string, first of all, you click on this connect. Okay, but then it will be good for you, I think, to load sample data. So we are loading your new database, the data sets to what? To the cluster. And what is the cluster? Cluster name is 0. Cluster 0. Let's allow it to finish, then we connect. Connecting means we want to connect to the database remotely from our system, okay, from our developer system, from the developer machine to the remote MongoDB Atlas. I think I can click on this at the same time. Yeah, while it is loading. So please, this is where you connect, and we want to connect via driver, right? Okay, so we click on the phone. All these will enable you to connect, but the easiest one, I think, is for you to connect using this driver. And the driver, not only Node uses MongoDB. Virtually all programming languages are using MongoDB. But then for our own connection now, it's Node. So you select Node, and then the node we are using to connect is from version 5.5 and later. Ours, I think, is version 9 point something, right? Is it 9 or 19? I think 9.5 something, or 9.4 or 9.3. So then immediately you come over here and grab this, or you click on this. Either you click on this or you click on what? Click on select like this, so you get your connection. So I'm going to also store this here. You can see URL for the connection is this, okay? But then we have to make some touches on this URL, because database has not been embedded and all that, please come over to the VS Code. Come to the VS Code here. This is where we said we are going to paste our what? Our URL. Is it? So the URL here, the first thing here is username. You know, we have made, you know, we have chosen to use CloudSoft Consulting as our what? As our username. Can you recall? Then the password. Then you get the password from here, and then you take it to the VS Code. Please, you erase right from this open less than sign, right? And the other, the greater than sign. That is from the full column to @ that is where you paste your password. You have to be very, otherwise it will not work. Then at cluster, we didn't change the to cluster name, it is cluster 0. Then you move to, this is where you are going to enter your database name. In between the / and the what? The question mark. So let's see, I think I can, it's still loading sample data for us. Nonetheless, just still working on it, but I think I can check to see what's happening in the database. Okay, I can check to see what's happening in the database. So here you can as well do connect from here, please. All right, if you click on connect, it takes you to that page that we have just closed. And if you click on browse connection, it's going to give you list of all details of your content of the cluster. But as you see, it has loaded many sample databases for us. Please look over here. What can we do here? It has listed many things here. It has loaded many things. I think it's still loading. All these are sample data. So let me see one we can use. Maybe can we go for training? This is a database called training, and we have our collection here called what? Companies. This collection, let's see how it is. Yes, companies, names of companies, right? We also have grades. These are grades. I think for simplicity we can use companies. As a collection, okay? Something like that. Okay, it lists the name of company and list out some things here. So can we, let me see this restaurant. I want to get something that's not going to confuse. The neighborhood sample restaurant. Let's see restaurants. Okay, I think this data is a little bit easier to manage than the first one. It's not bubbles. Okay, so you see second record and all these records, right? So let me make use of this database. Let me make use of it. Let me see, has it copied it? No? Okay, it has given me sample restaurant, right? I think this is the database name. Is it? So this is what I wanted. Then you take it over here. But you create your own database while you want to. This because we have not done anything. You know, you can't retrieve without you creating database, inserting tuples, inserting into the collection, inserting documents. You know, in Mongodb we don't say you know tables. It is rather documents. I mean collections, the schema and all this. So I'm going to copy this and go back to here. So this is the correct URL. This is the correct URL for what we are doing. Okay, and for the other one, it is just for sample. I don't need it here. Then I will save. Then I will make this stored persistently. So I think we are done with the connection. So let's go back to VS Code and continue with our work. So we're done. So please close the env. After closing it, then we now head towards the database connectivity. So we are done with this. Of course, we are going to create schema. We are going to create schema, of course, and so next you do is to create this. You create a DB as a folder. Then you create the class or a page that connects. So here I think we haven't done that. We created a folder called, you can say some do call it library like this, while others are calling it DB. I recommend this the use of DB because it is so much descriptive. So you right click and then you create a file. This file could be, you can say Mongoose connect, right? Or Mongoose connection, for example, .js. So this is what we have now. And then what is going to be the content of this file? So we're done with this. Now next is what? This. The content of the file is that we want to connect to database, and the database is Mongodb using the Mongoose URL. Sorry, using the Mongoose dependency as a package. So what you do is, first of all, connect. How do you connect? Connection is nothing but what? Saying okay, this is where is it? This is it. Mongoose dot what? Dot connect. Mongoose dot connect. That's just. But then before this, there are things you need to look into. When I just connect, as I'm saying, actually there is going to be there might be problems. Okay, let's do something here. For me to connect, I need to create alright, yes, I need to export. You know, if I want to create a method export function, the function name is, you can say connect to Mongo or Mongoose connect. It's whatever you give it. Mongoose is the package name. Mongoose, let me say connect, so it should be different from the file name, so we don't get confused. Okay? Guys, you must not necessarily use default here to work. It's not a problem. You can use default. You know, here you are just connecting, and so after that you don't connect. Before you connect, you need URL. The URL is to be processed from MongoDB. When you get it, then you do what? You do connect.
I tried this connection in TryCatch.
You say?
I tried the connection in TryCatch.
Yes, of course.
Before, after the else, then TryCatch.
Yes. It's good because it's going to catch all errors for you. I think we are also going to do that. Yes, that's good. So you want it to return what? You want it to return what? Mongoose. This Mongoose, this I'm writing. Mongoose. It's not Mongoose connect. No, it's filling it automatically. Mongoose connect.
Connection.
This day you supply what? You supply the URL here. So where are you going to get the URL? You get the URL from where? From where?
Yeah.
.env. So I can now say const. The reason why I'm using const is because URL is not going to change. If it is changing, then you use lex. Because if you want to update whatever you call as a variable later, if you use const, it will not. Alright, so you say const what? URL equals to, where are we getting it from? From .env. So I can now say process process.env dot what? The URL. You call the URL. What I do in most cases is to copy it, so I don't make any mistake. I copy it from here.
You are doing bottom from.
Yes, there's the reason why I did that. There's a reason. You know, sometimes you have to, otherwise somebody will just be confused. So you see, now I use the URL I've generated here. This URL is gotten from where? From the .env. If you don't want to say process art, you can just say export from here. Then you can call it anywhere. Okay? But if you do not do that, you have to say process art, because in NodeJs, if you want to make use of anything anywhere, you want to make it, you want to inherit it, then you have to use the export. So then I think we are done with this part. Only that maybe why these globals? We don't need you. Maybe I want to make sure that I'm connected. So before adding it, before saying return, I can say console log. Okay, console log. I can say console log something. Console log means printout, right? It is the same as saying system.out with println in Java. It is the same as saying system.write in C#. Is it the same as saying cout in what? Thank you, in C++. Who is that? Jimmy, right? Yeah, that's good. So here I want to make sure that it is being what? Connected. Then I will now say Mongodb. It's your own language here. Mongodb connection. It's successful. It's your language. You see what the system suggested is successfully what? Established. Then sometimes some people do this. You may say, okay, let me see the URL. You can say comma URL. So it will print out the URL for you. Or you can say plus URL. Then it will print out the URL. Okay? Who understand what I mean by the URL, the real MongoDB URL? So you know which am I. But then this, please, this should be only in the production environment. I mean, in the dev environment. For production, you don't make use of, you don't play with this URL. So now, if you run this to connect, and whenever you run it to connect, it will keep connecting. But there could be problem of what we call too many connections, because connections are limited. I don't know of MongoDB. I haven't checked it, but then for MySQL, you don't have more than 256, I think, connection. So if you exhaust that connection, then you are on your own. Anything could happen. All right. So then, what do we do? So for us to do away with that problem, then you introduce what we call the ready state. You check on the connection on the ready state. Of course, if you look at what we have here, Mongoose connection, then what? The ready state. So you check if it is connected already. So you just return promise. So this what it means by equals to 1. I think NodeJs is one of the programming languages that are using 3 equals to. Alright, equals to. What they said is the first equals to, when we say equals to like in Java and other ones, equals to means it is checking for logical equality, right? Is it not? Then the third one is trying to check on types, because Node.js is not strong type. I don't know, unless if you use TS, TypeScript. So you check mongoose.connection.ready state. If mongoose.connection is, then you return it as promised. So you can now do that. If statement, if mongoose.connection dot what? Dot ready state. See, equals to 1. It is equals to 1. If it what if it is not equals to 1? Else, if it is not ready, that means it is never connected. Then you connect, right? Then you put in these ones. You connect. By else, it means no connection was established. Yeah, I agree with this IntelliSense tab 9 suggestion. Then you connect. Okay? Is it not? Right? But here we haven't finished. Then what if it is there? If it is there, then you return. Oh, sorry. It's Arabic. Then you return what? Mongoose connection dot as what? As promise. Yes, this should be returned. You know, this is how it is being suggested for us to connect. This code is readily available. You can just pick it and make use of it. But I'm just explaining for you to understand what is happening. Sadi, dalla kashe bankan nan. I think I will stop the video here. Then we create another video for retrieval. Alright, sir. Sorry.